Yes, I'm very pleased with where we are after two games, and we certainly know that the competition level is going to rise big time, going into a hostile um, environment over at Ole Miss, and since I've been the head coach, we haven't won over there. We've played two really close games, but we haven't been able to win, and have a lot of respect for their team and their players and their coach. So looking forward to starting SEC play and being on, ESPN at 6 o'clock. We're excited about it.
Coach, we'll start with Andrew Hutchison of the Best of Arkansas Sports.
Hey, Sam, I'm curious if you had an update on David Oakey. Was he able to get out at practice yesterday, and you have a feeling of whether or not he's going to be available for you this weekend?
Well, we hope so. I mean, he did practice some yesterday, and so we're certainly going to try to get a few more reps out of him today, and we'll make our decision probably on after practice today or on Thursday. But he did practice a little bit yesterday.
And a couple other guys, I just want to confirm, you said Devin Bale you thought was going to be fine. Just confirm that. And then also, I don't think we've seen Andy Jean yet. I know he was banged up during fall camp. Kind of what's his status?
No, Andy's fine. He's he needs to step up. This week with Monte situation, and Devin Bell practiced yesterday.
Next will be Adam Rittenberg of ESPN.
Hey, Sam, I know you asked about this a little bit this week, but with the portal being around now for a few years, how have you learned to handle players on your team that are facing their former team, or in this case, opposing players that have been on your team? How have you just kind of learned to handle those type of situations that come up now?
Oh, we don't even talk about it, to be honest with you. We've all made decisions in our life. They made one, and hopefully it's working out good for them. And we've got so many transfers on our team that now they're on our team, and those guys that transferred are certainly on Ole Miss's team. So we really don't talk about it, to be honest with you.
Is there any strategic advantage you can gain, or just talking to them about that team and what they might do, or do you just kind of leave it alone when you're in these types of weeks?
Well, I'm sure that there's conversations going on about calls and teaching and how we did things here. Maybe I'm not sure of that, but the possibility of that. So we're aware of that as well. But things change each and every year. Some things stay the same, but things change each and every year. Your calls, the way you call them, the terminology changes. So we certainly are understanding, but it's not just Ole Miss. It's anybody that transfers that where they could possibly help their team win a game. So we certainly understand that and are aware of that, and so we just move on from there.
Thanks, Sam.
Next, we'll go to Tom Murphy of the Arkansas Democrat-Gazette.
Hey, Sam. That 2015 game at Ole Miss with the Henry heave and the fourth down conversion and all that, I know you don't sit around and think about it, but when it's all said and done for you, how might that game rank in your list of favorites or most memorable games?
Yeah, I mean, it certainly was unbelievable. I mean, and I mean that in every sense of the word, ending, because not only did we have to get 4th and 25, we had to, we went for two, and the first one we got a face mask penalty on Brandon and on their defense, and then got half the distance, decided to run it in with him as well. They were a really, really good team. I think they had beaten Alabama that year, and so it was a big win and a lot of fun. And one of those, you get into the locker room and you go, man, I don't know how that happened, but I'm glad it did, So, but Hunter did that on his own, Tom. I mean, we had not talked to him about if he catches it short, or we didn't know he was going to be the guy, he's a smart player, and he heaved it back there on his own, and luckily Dan tipped it, and we're able to pick it up and run it for a first down. So unbelievable play, very fortunate play for the Hogs. But yeah, it was a great win for Arkansas that day.
Regardless of whether Oki is available or not, what have you learned from your defensive front so far, and in terms of depth and production?
Well, we need to continue to develop more and more depth. We've got to get more production out of our interior guys. We don't have a lot there. The guys that we've talked about really doing as far as production are the defensive ends, Ian Phillip and Quincy. So we've got to get more production out of those guys on the inside. We need to get David back to help us in that area. But certainly we've got to do a better job of production and tackles and sacks and things like that with our interior too.
Next is Mike Griffith of the AJC.
Yeah, Coach. Before this Arkansas head coaching gig, you were obviously considered one of the preeminent offensive line coaches in the nation. And there's a lot of high-profile games, including yours, with SEC teams in hostile environments and noise. And so the topic comes up of how does the offensive line handle this and the communication with the quarterback? What can you share with us from your experiences and exactly what's on the definitely do not do list, and how do offensive lines deal with this most effectively in those circumstances?
Well, there's several different ways. You can go on the quarterback clap. You can go on the guard tap. You can go on the center's head bob. I mean, there's different things, but the bottom line is you better make sure that you decide what you're going to do and practice it. It's a confidence builder. You need to practice your game as loud as you possibly can. I mean, you need to get the decimals up there big time. And because last year 2 years ago, it was really loud at Ole Miss. And so that the thing with that is it's just building confidence in the offensive line throughout the week. And unfortunately, we haven't had to do that until this week. But we've had good practices so far with the crowd noise, and we're going to turn it up a little bit more today. And we just try to build their confidence each and every day. And we hope that we're playing it louder here than it's going to be Saturday, even though we know a night game at Ole Miss is going to be very, very loud.
So it's fair to say that the first road game in this sort of circumstances, there's a steeper curve than once the team gets into the season, having done it a few times.
I think that's fair to say. You said it that way, except for we know that it's going to be loud over there, so we have obviously 4 days to practice it. So it's like anything else. You've got to build confidence in your team running the power or play or man coverage. It's like anything else. You've got to prepare for it, and I think 4 days is plenty of time to prepare for that.
Thanks, Coach. Appreciate it.
Mm-hmm.
Next, we'll go to Trey Biddy of hogsports.com.
Yeah, Coach, what can you tell us about, Quincy specifically, just the week that he has leading up to this game and just the importance of getting pressure on the quarterback?
Well, we've been moving him around a little bit, Trey, and I think we'll continue to look at some of those things for matchup purposes. But he hadn't played much before this year, and certainly each game, his confidence, and he's that kind of guy. You've got to build confidence in him, and his confidence has grown throughout camp and throughout the first two games. So, he's a big guy that's athletic, and he can do a lot of really good things in there as long as he's rolling fast. And the biggest thing there was making sure that he knew his assignment and what to do. And once he did that, he was able to play faster. So I think that's where he is now. And I think each and every game he plays, he'll get a little bit better because his confidence is growing and he's got the athletic ability to do what we ask him to do.
And how much stock do you put in these injury reports that are put out from opposing coaches? You guys pay a lot of attention to that, or is that just something that's better for gamblers out there?
Well, I don't know how it is for the gamblers, but I do know that, there's integrity in the SEC. And so we obviously look at it. Things can change and all that, but we obviously look at it. As you well know, I'm way more open with injuries than I was my first 2 or 3 years before this report came out, because we're going to put on there exactly, how we feel the possibilities that guys playing are. We're told to do that. So we put good stock in it, I guess, to answer your question, Trey.
Thanks, Coach.
That's all of your time today, Coach. Thank you.
All right. Thank y'all.